Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we got a video by Jimothy High Roller titled 15 Facts About the NBA That May Just Blow Your Bitch Ass Mind, guys. I actually added that last part in there, man. Just may blow your mind. So, I love learning about new things and stuff. Sometimes, like 2% of the time, I like learn new things, and 98% of the time I was like eating chicken nuggets. But regardless, we're going to check these out and see if our minds get blown or, you know, if we already knew them.
In basketball, over any other skill set in the game, getting a bucket will always reign supreme. Now, we all know who the all-time leader in points is, but more importantly, and never really discussed, is points generated. An overall total of the number of points a player has created through both scoring and assists. The leaderboard for a statistic like this will only feature the most productive and impactful players to...
I am going to guess, oh man, I know John Stockton got them assists like that, but I don't know if he was a scorer like that. Oh man, this actually got LeBron? I guess I'd probably say LeBron.
Ever play the game? Well, here is a chart of players who have generated the most points in NBA history. At the bottom, you have some all-time great players.
Where's LeBron
Harden, Westbrook, the point guard himself, Chris Paul.
Yep.
As you go up the list, you won't see any more active players. Just legends of the game. MJ,
Yo, where's
Kobe,
LeBron?
Kareem, and all the way at the top, you have John Stockton, which should hardly come as a surprise since Stockton scored nearly 20,000 points in his career and has by far the most assists in league history.
So he was the scorer like that, okay.
Wait, we're missing just one player.
Yep. Yeah, I knew it, man. Yo, I called both. Man. Let's go. Crispy with the knowledge.
56,682 points generated so far in his career. LeBron James already has by far the most points generated of any player in NBA history. Even crazier, he's still got plenty of basketball ahead of him.
I bet you Luka's going to be up there, man,
I've got
for sure.
some NBA facts that may just blow your mind. We've done quite a few of these in the past, maybe 4 or 5. I don't really know. I've done maybe a lot 6 of these videos and I'm losing track at this point. But with that subpar intro out of the way, let's get into this. This past week, the Oklahoma City Thunder had a starting 5 with an average age of just 20 years and 219.
Yeah, like all these dudes was like in college, like last week, man. Theo, he was in the draft. I think Dort was a draft pick. Moses Brown, this is the dude that, the one dude told him to lift his head up. That was like last year. Alexei Pakovucci. I mean, he's only, yeah.
Days old.
That's crazy.
The very next day, the Oklahoma Sooners, a college team in the same state as the Thunder, had a starting 5 of 21 years and 313.
Yeah, none of those guys are gonna be in the NBA though.
Sounds impossible, but it's
That's
true.
why they're 4 years.
And it's blowing my mind. On a similarly odd note, last season on February 6, 2020, the Rockets played the Lakers in LA and had a starting 5 with an average height of 6 feet 4.5 inches. On that same exact night, at the same exact time, in the same city,
Denver?
the high school basketball team Modern Day had a starting 5 with an average height of 6 foot 7 inches. 2.5 inches taller than the average height of the Rocket starters.
Yeah, but it's nothing crazier than when, remember when they had like Bol at small forward and like Jokic at point guard and stuff? Did they did that in the bubble or something? That was insane.
What's even more strange is that the average height for a player on Modern Day's entire roster was still taller than the average player on the Houston Rockets' entire roster.
Yeah, I would never make that team.
Once again, my mind is about to explode trying to process this information. Russell Westbrook has redefined the triple-double, a stat line that was once a rarity but has now become a common occurrence. In fact, just this week, Russell Westbrook broke the all-time Washington Wizards franchise record
he had like 20 assists
triple-doubles in just 38 games. Possibly the quickest a player has ever broken a franchise record. In these 38 games, Westbrook racked up 16 triple-doubles, which means in 38 games, Westbrook notched more triple-doubles than all of these players had in their entire career. Has your mind been blown yet? Let's move on.
Hey, Russell, that's what he's going to do. He's going to triple-double.
Former point guard in the NBA,
Love
for those unfamiliar, played in 959 games and took 5,072 shots in his 14 seasons in the NBA.
It's not that many.
And only made 15 three-pointers in his entire career. 15. In fact, Livingston was a longtime teammate of Stephen Curry, who in 2017 hit...
Yeah, but with Sean Livingston, though, I mean, he had like a few really good years, or at least like promising years on the Clippers, and he had that horrible injury. But like once he went to Golden State, pretty much all he did was like post up because he was so much bigger than a lot of point guards and stuff. It was actually kind of fun to watch. I really liked how he played for that team, especially considering all the 3-point shooters around him. Like, he knew his strengths. So respect to a guy just like not chucking it up there.
A combined 23 pointers in back-to-back games, which means that Sean Livingston made less threes in his entire 14-year career than Steph made in a 40-minute span. When Wilt Chamberlain was playing in the NBA, the league did not keep track of blocked shots. It wasn't until the season after
he probably had about
when the NBA finally
97,000
began to officially record the stat. But through some extensive research a few years ago, Reddit users were able to collect data from 112 games where Wilt's blocked shots were recorded. Now, these games only represent about 9% of his career. But with this sample size of games, it was discovered that Wilt averaged about 8.8 blocks per game for his entire career. And since
that
Wilt
is mind-blowing,
played 1,205 games throughout his career, we can make a rough estimate of just how many shots Wilt blocked. A total so staggering that no player since Wilt has even come remotely close.
Oh my God,
In fact, with a rough estimate of 10,600
blocking those clubbers
block shots,
and
Wilt has nearly 3 times as many block shots as the next highest player, Hakeem. And your list of unbelievable Wilt Chamberlain records just got longer. Oddly enough, possibly the most impressive defensive player in league history was Wilt's longtime rival, Bill Russell. But when you think of the best defensive player to ever lace up, most think of Scottie Pippen, Kawhi, maybe Ben Wallace, or Hakeem.
Big Ben,
but
for
the
sure.
answer to this question is not nearly as subjective as you may think. The answer is Bill Russell, and it's not even close. In fact, Russell has the NBA record for most defensive win shares in a season. Oh, and he also has the second most defensive win shares in a season.
And third, and fourth, and fifth, and sixth, and seventh.
And 4th, and 5th, 6th, 9th, 11th, and 13th.
Yo, Big Ben,
Russell is known for
12.
his rings, but his individual greatness has been underappreciated over the years. For perspective, in Wilt Chamberlain's illustrious career, he was the best scorer for 7 seasons. In Bill Russell's career, he was the best defensive player in the league for 11 seasons. In other words, Bill Russell was better at defense than Wilt Chamberlain was at scoring. Just let that sink in. Every NBA fan knows the long and successful history of both the Los Angeles Lakers and the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, they tell us about it every day.
These two organizations winning nearly half of all NBA championships since the NBA was created. But what most people don't know is that only 2 of the 17 top final scorers of all time did not play for the Lakers or Celtics.
Michael Jordan.
You may have heard of these 2 players, Michael Jordan and Stephen Curry.
Yo, where's
At this
LeBron?
point, most fans know Steve Kerr as the coach of the Golden State Warriors. Other fans may know him as the sharpshooter from the Bulls' 3 championships in the 90s. But not many people know that Steve went to 5 finals and won all 5. 5 for 5 on the biggest stage. In those 5 finals appearances, Kerr only scored 96 points. That's a ring for every 19 points scored in the finals. For comparison, Michael Jordan won a ring for every 196 points he scored in the finals.
That is pretty mind-blowing. Wow.
For every 187 points he scored in the finals. And LeBron has won a ring for every 390 points he scored in the finals. Steve Kerr, GOAT status confirmed. Lately, the NBA has seen some all-time great games, and oftentimes these games occur on the same night, making for all-time historical days of NBA action. But quite possibly the most incredible regular season night in NBA history
Pistons
occurred
Nuggets
on December 8th, 1961, when a 27-year-old Elgin Baylor put up an almost incomprehensible stat line against the Philadelphia Warriors. 63 points, 31 rebounds, and 7 assists.
Ain't no 3-point line.
To this day, one of the greatest performances in NBA history. And the Lakers needed every ounce of production they got out of Baylor that night to narrowly edge out the Warriors. Because Wilt Chamberlain...
Can you imagine how fun it would be to be that dominant at basketball? Like the drop, what did they say, 61 points, 35 rebounds? Like that would just be so much fun.
Dropped 78 and 43 on the same exact night. 78 points and 43 rebounds. In a single game, these 2 legends combined for 141 points and 74 rebounds. And if there's anything I'm absolutely certain of,
retire at
it's
that point,
there
man.
will never be another NBA game quite like this one. Now, some NBA fans may know of a stat called MVP shares, which is basically a number that represents how many MVP votes a player received over his career in relation to winning the award each season. For example, if a player didn't receive any MVP votes in a season, he would get 0 MVP shares that season. If a player wins the award and receives 80% of the first place votes, he would get 0.8 MVP shares. Now, this stat is interesting because as
Too
I
much
just
math.
laid out, you don't even need a full MVP share to actually win the MVP. For example, Derrick Rose has 0.98 MVP shares, but has an MVP award in his trophy case. On the other end of the spectrum, you have guys who have piled up multiple top 5 MVP finishes but have never won the award. Like Chris Paul, who has 1.66 MVP shares but has no MVP to show for it. Shaq and Kobe both have more than 4 MVP shares for their entire career but have just 1 regular season MVP each.
That's crazy. They only got 1
interesting
MVP.
is
That's
that
mind-blowing.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has the most regular season MVPs in league history with 6, despite having far less MVP shares than both LeBron and Michael Jordan. Basically, every time Kareem could have won the award, he did. Whereas players...
Well, I think a lot of that too has to come down to, you know, just like how much talent and the like diversity of talent in the league. Because like obviously when Kareem was playing, there was still a lot of talented players. But just like now, not like now. So for one, the MVP award is just so story driven now. You know, we get like fatigue, voters fatigue and stuff like that. I mean, let's be honest, man. Like LeBron James could have won the damn MVP like 13, 14 years straight for being 100% honest. But the NBA just would not allow that. So that's just how it is.
Players like Michael, Kobe, LeBron, and Shaq possibly got robbed of at least 1 regular season MVP award. On another note, here's a graph of the top active NBA players when it comes to MVP shares.
Yo, I see Melo.
And here's LeBron. Oh, wait. Sorry. Here's LeBron. Jerry West has scored 40 points or more in the finals 10 times, which doesn't sound like a lot at first.
Love his jumper.
Until you realize that's more 40-point finals performances than Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Larry Bird, and Michael Jordan combined. But the logo's greatness doesn't end there. Jerry West also has the most 30-point games in finals history. Oh, and he also has the most 20-point games in finals history as well. Luka Doncic is already 11th all-time in triple-doubles in NBA history, despite playing just a little over 2 seasons worth of games in his career. In fact, throughout his career so far, Luka tallies up a triple-double 1 in every 5 games, a triple-double rate far exceeding
above Russell
any other
Westbrook.
player in NBA history. Coming into the NBA, Zion Williamson was the most hyped prospect since LeBron James. However, that hype
Andrew
has
Wiggins.
quickly died down in just his 2nd season in the NBA,
Unfortunately.
despite Zion's incredible play so far. In fact, out of all active players, the quickest to reach 1,200 career points isn't LeBron, it isn't Kevin Durant or Damian Lillard or
It's
Luka
Zion.
Doncic. It's Zion Williamson. So far,
Oh, I thought you said
Zion has been
12,000
everything we
points. Okay.
expected, and yet
Okay.
somehow he went from overrated to underrated in just 2 seasons. Oh, and if anyone was wondering which player reached 1,200 points faster than anyone else in NBA history,
Sam Cassell.
surprise, it's Wilt Chamberlain.
Okay. Yo, Blake
By
Griffin.
a lot.
Wow.
But if Zion and Wilt are 2 of the fastest to accomplish this feat, who is the slowest? Well, from October of 1983 to February of 1991, over the course of 7.5 years, a player by the
Yo,
name
Greg
of Greg
Kite.
Kite
Who?
eventually reached a career point total of 1,205.
You know what, man? Shout out to Greg Kite, though. You know, they call him the flying kite, bro. They call him the flying kite. This man would be soaring with the 2.5 points per game for 8 seasons. The fact that he got that many games played with that average is literally insane.
This took him 473 games to accomplish. Good job, Greg.
All right, man. That's the end of the video right there, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace out, my friends.